Today we're in the gym doing some leg work every week. One strength session on legs, one strength session upper body, and it's definitely already paying dividends as well with my new programming that I'm doing with my trainer. Just waving to someone on the way out. We are getting some good gains on the bike in terms of power, feeling stronger as well, upper body, feeling stronger in the water, which is meaningful as well. And the calf, this bad boy, is recovering, thank God. So my first run I'm going to do, it's only going to be a 20-minute very light jog. It's going to be this evening. I'll update you later in the week on how that went. But for now, let's get on with the leg workout. And this is the leg workout that I've been doing for the last 4 weeks. This is the 4th week. We're gradually adding load. Like I said, nothing complicated, but building it back in now to get these legs nice and strong for Ironman UK next year, and also some of the races that we're going to be having in between. We'll see you in the gym. And what we see with injuries is this boom or bust. So people get injured, take a load of time off, feel healthy again, ramp up their training too quickly, get injured again. And really, in order to decrease injury risk, it's all about consistency. And to be consistent, it needs to be sustainable. Hence the reason I'm doing lunge walks with 10 kilos, and 4 weeks ago, when I first started doing resistance work again, following on from I haven't done any probably for the better part of 4 months or so, I started with just body weight, and I've slowly been increasing weight over a period of time. Consistent and sustainable increases, and not a sudden kind of spike to my training load. I'm much stronger than that, but I know for a fact if I increase my loads significantly too quickly, I'm in a high injury risk zone, and there's just no need for it, because I'm not going to get the benefit from my training. It's going to mean I'm going to have more time out of the gym or away from doing certain activities, which if you measure it over the course of a season in athletes, the ones we work with, etc., the more training days you can get in good condition, the more likely you are to succeed in terms of your training goals. If you're taking big periods of time off because you're injured, because you have gone too hard too quickly, which we see this boom or bust again, it's not ideal. So that's just my 10 cents on that one. The purpose of doing a lot of this stuff, strength work, or strength conditioning, any mobility stuff, etc., has multiple benefits. Obviously, it can make you more efficient when you're doing your sport, doing triathlon. Super important in all distances, really. Helps prevent injury. There's a lot of injuries that are brought on by tissues not being particularly well adapted to dealing with load. Also some injuries that there's risk factors where if you've got a range of motion deficit, can cause injury. So what I try to do when I'm building my strength and conditioning or designing my program is to focus on all of those things. So I'm trying to improve range of motion with certain exercises in some key areas that I know that traditionally range of motion deficits are associated with loading problems or problems in exercise. Like say for instance the calf, so decreased dorsiflexion, which is this motion backwards, and it's associated with plantar fascia problems and Achilles tendon problems, calf issues. Also can probably make your running gait a little bit funky. So building in exercises that focus on those areas. Also trying to focus on loading both sides, together and independently, to make sure we don't have any deficits in strength side to side. Also, as you've seen at the start, balance, super important when you're cycling, running. Include a little bit of core in both workouts. It's super important for the sport in general. So trying to focus on a whole range of things that come together in a nice strength and conditioning type workout, which addresses all of those without having to spend long periods of time just focusing on one or the other. So for instance, with my mobility, so for instance, if I want to work on mobility of my ankle, lunge is an appropriate exercise to do, the squat's an appropriate exercise to do to work on mobility at the ankle, calf raise with a deficit is an appropriate exercise to do as you're dropping into that eccentric phase, step up, something like that. All those things will help improve mobility of the ankle. Same for the hip. I want to improve hip extension. Stuff like a lunge will improve hip extension. A split squat will improve hip extension. A split squat like a Bulgarian style with the rear foot elevated, that will help improve hip extension. So I always think that's a key thing to do when you're doing building or trying to design a program, and to focus on multiple different areas so you're getting bang for your buck really. And that's what we like to do, because then you don't spend hours and hours and hours working on all the individual bits. We can get our strength conditioning work done essentially in 45 minutes to an hour, 2 times a week, upper and lower. Ideal really for triathlon. Don't see this exercise often. No. People neglect it. And they neglect their adductors in general. But for hip health, we're also focused on our booties. We neglect the big muscle group inside, which for the people who care is one of the most important muscles for squatting. So, training adductors. Plank.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Easy money.
And that is a wrap. Today we're at my house. We're going to film I've got a hour and 10-minute bike workout to do on the turbo, followed by a 15-minute run off the bike. We're going to film it in my garage where my turbo is set up at the moment. Eventually the garage is going to be a full pain cave. Screaming children in the background, construction noise over there. This is life. We're going to film it in eventually this will be a pain cave. At the moment it's a bit of a dumping ground for crap, because we only moved into this house this year. There's been a lot of work going on. So come through and we're going to get to that workout. So I actually prefer working out on the turbo trainer as opposed to working out on the road. Certainly if I want to get some good training benefit, because on the turbo trainer you can be very, very specific about what you're trying to achieve. Out on the road, you've got to deal with lunatics and BMWs, traffic lights, hills that are unexpected when you're trying to do a high intensity set and the hill comes out of nowhere, road works, all that stuff. So the best thing about turbo training is you can just get plugged in, get on the bike and crack out a really, really focused, specific workout. And that's what we're doing today. So workout schedule: 20-minute build from zone 1 to zone 2 to sweet spot. Then we've got 2 6-minute builds doing the same with some easy spin-offs in between, and then the main set are 3 sets of 2 1-minute zone 4 and 90 plus revolutions per minute, and then some zone 2 smooth stuff, building for 4 minutes from 80 spins per minute to 110, and then an easy spin off in between. So nothing crazy, but should be good. Over here throwing down some watts, mate. What are you doing?
Just having a look at all your drink, innit? Oh, triathletes meant to be healthy.
Hey, look at the booze. Part-time triathlete, part-time alcoholic. Speaking to James off camera there, and this workout that I'm doing today, it's got a little bits of intensity in, but nothing crazy. I was just saying to him, it's from working with patients and working with clients over the years, there seems to be this kind of misconception that every workout has to absolutely kill you. It doesn't at all. I mean, this workout, pretty low stress really, got a little bit of power in there. My heart rate's not gone above 150 because I'm not doing anything powerful for a long duration. Got to run off the bike afterwards. So pretty much I'm building some strength in my legs, but I'm not killing it on the intensity. And that's what people need to realise when they're training. Like, the training program fits together. There should be some intensity in places, and some lighter work in places, and it all comes together. So one of the biggest mistakes I see with injuries is that very thing. People trying to work hard all the time, and just no need for it. If anything, you get worse. So that's my take on that. And we are done. What I love about Zwift, my favourite thing, is the pretty graphs that you get. How pretty that is. Well, it would be more pretty if my screen wasn't broken, but yeah. So that's it for another week. We'll see you next week here where we are going to be preparing final steps for a race on the Saturday, and the following week's vlog we'll have that race day footage. So good session, hour and 20 to hour 30 in total. Nice and light, nothing crazy, some interval stuff, but we're building and we're taking our time because putting in the work now, so then next year we can have a great season, smash Ironman UK out of the park. We'll see you next week.